Renekton. So it's not going to be a Riven Xin Zhao combo, but at the end of the day, FENNEL locking in this Lulu just to counter out any burst coming in on whatever BREN is going to pick up.
Yeah, and it's extra sustainability coming down into it for the front lines for FENNEL Adversity, but BREN Esports now locking onto the Nami alongside with Garen, coming through for both Consi and Jet.
Exactly. This is going to be very a very tanky team coming from BREN Esports. In the meantime, FENNEL is now, we're going to be seeing Shaw's Ahri pick up, and as well as the Corki. We talked about this earlier as well. The usual matchups, either most likely a Corki up against the Kaisa, who's able to manage things on their own, and the Kali to finish off the draft for BREN Esports. Hayes is going to try it for the third time once more. First game, it was successful. Second, it wasn't. But with now how beefy they are, FENNEL Adversity has narrowed down a few targets for the Charm for their level 3 spike. Renekton, Xin Zhao, and Ahri in general have really strong level 5s and level 3s. And now that eventually at the later stages of the game with Consi and Emjon are going to be insanely tanky, their targets are going to narrow down to just Rebenga and Hayes and Jeff.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult situation for FENNEL Adversity into accessing the backlines, and for BREN, it's going to be a difficult situation onto this Lulu, Corki, Ahri pick, as well as the Renekton and the Xin Zhao. Who's gonna take it down? Who's gonna win this game number 3? As this will be the last game of the series. It's gonna be the top second seed for Group A versus the top seed for Group C for Game 3. Now here we are. Very standard situations for now. BREN Esports going for the dual lane into the bot side. Try and match it up against Corki and Lulu. Everyone is at their right place. No one's going for the early clear push into the mid lane. So it's a standard situation for both these teams.
And no funny business, especially when no Braum. It is going to be lanes just intact. And we've talked about this in the draft. Level 3 is going to be very strong for the FENNEL Esports side. You've got you've got Shaw with a Charm. You got Doming as well with a full kit. Renekton, again, level 3, all your combos on board to get the stun in, to get sustain. They do have information though that Rebenga is going to be around. So now for FENNEL, they're going to aim to have priority. That means once they have priority, they are going to get visits, 1 or 2, on Rebenga's attempt to clear his jungle. So this is something that BREN should watch out for. And I'm not going to be surprised, as they do have a lot of vision, at least, to try and protect wherever Rebenga is going to be, as we see Doming and Shaw already tag teaming. Again, this is going to be very reliant on Shaw landing the Charm or Doming going in with the audacious charge, and then Shaw will follow after. We'll see what the plan is for FENNEL.
Yeah, it's just expected for FENNEL Adversity, having Doming, the good synergy when it comes to the mid lane to be able to impact at level 3. But they fail because Hayes is just too mobile alongside with that invisibility from the Shroud. But here into the top side, Jared will force out the flash though. Good trade for FENNEL Adversity.
Yeah, the level 3 that we talked about before, and now they could possibly look into a dive.
They're jumping in. That's going to be stunned from Renekton. Call the Meek. First blood for FENNEL Adversity.
That's really clean coming from FENNEL. They're able to just get a flash coming from Doming, and that's going to be fine. And now we've already brought this up before. BREN Esports going to be aiming towards the mid to late game. Especially the late game is where they will shine. We'll see, though, if they're going to take a dive, because Rebenga is now on this Mundo. He's not on a Xin Zhao. He's not on a Rengar. We're not going to be seeing the usual dives, but this could be a different story, as Rebenga is slowly hovering over here in the duo lane. This is classic from BREN Esports, but so far, Rafi, Danny, going to be safe for now.
Yeah, especially at level 5. Very strong as Dr. Mundo pick can dive on their turrets, but as you stated, no one's going to dive in all in so far, as BREN Esports doesn't really have the best damage in this early game jungle. FENNEL Adversity has that lead so far, and I think FENNEL Adversity just have that information that leaves them back into safety. So for now, a stalemate situation, but I think this could change things up, because currently we're 1 minute away for Cloud Dragon and Rift Herald to come up.
For FENNEL Adversity, they would love to have this Air Drake for more of that roam potential for them. Again, Ari, Xin Zhao, Renekton is spelling potential tower dives, potential roams into the enemy jungle. But now, though, look at Amgen's bubbles.
It's a support versus ADC with so much damage coming through. Acropiston just doing some damage down to Danny. Consi just returned coming in from the base, so he bought some items down up against FENNEL Adversity. Just the right time to recall because currently it's 15 seconds on the clock for both objectives to come up. And FENNEL Adversity has to call out and recall to match it up. FENNEL Adversity, two-man roam topside, no kills, no all-ins.
No all-ins just yet. BREN Esports is going to get that Air Drake, wanting to deny that away from FENNEL Adversity. Meanwhile, for FENNEL, they're going to be happy about this one. Just open up the map so that Power will continue his 4-1, will enable the 4-1 rather from FENNEL Adversity, as this will be a trade of objectives. Again, BREN, they are going to be waiting. They are not pressured to do anything at all at this point of the game, but for FENNEL, the pressure is on them to take advantage of the space that they have and see if they can push Power out of control. Dameng and as well as Shaw as well on Sari.
Yeah, with the help of Rift Arrow though, that's going to be the
Dive.
First blood for FENNEL Adversity. 100 HP. Yep, they're going to take it down. FENNEL Adversity, Tower for his blood gives them a 1.5k gold lead advantage, and have the dual lane information. FENNEL Adversity has that knowledge, that dual lane, roam top.
Yeah, gotta love the read coming from BREN Esports, and as well as the response coming from FENNEL Adversity. They know that I do not want to risk diving a Garen whenever and with a support and AD carry around as well. But just as you mentioned, they do get first blood. Sterak's pickup now coming from Dameng. He will definitely be able to survive a bit more once he dives into the fights. Essence Reaver already completed for Danny, and as well as a Bork coming from the side of Power. It's going to be a really nice spike, and see whether or not FENNEL is able to take advantage of the pickup. So far, no picks coming from Shaw, as well as BREN has been playing this very, very safe.
Yeah, and so far, very, very safe. They don't want to give more advantage to FENNEL Adversity, because in this current state of the game, they just have to be patient, wait for the late game. Sinja will be in a deficit when it comes to the late game type of playstyle up against Dr. Mundo, so you just have to wait for the right opportunity to engage up against FENNEL Adversity, and this might not be the right time 6 minutes into the matchup.
Yeah, for BREN, I think they have a lot of options to try and punish. Now, though, a dive's gonna come.
Now, FENNEL Adversity forcing out a fight. Hayes goes in, goes for the shroud with a final execution, but Charms will connect. The flash, though, will actually save his life, and Shaw will not be able to reach it down. That will be a lost kill for FENNEL Adversity.
Yeah, that is crazy. FENNEL Adversity consumed so much time in the bottom side and not going home with a kill at all as well. So this has been really well played by Hayes. Managed to buy some time for the dual lane of BREN to go and respond, clear the wave, and scare FENNEL away. And Shaw wanted to get a kill there. He had 2 stacks of the Spirit Rush, but has already spotted Consi and Mgen coming in, so it was a good call for FENNEL Adversity to just play reservedly and accept that, okay, we can't kill Hayes, let's just go back to our respective lanes and clear the waves.
I mean, that was just the right outplay. I think Hayes had the information, so it was just outplaying the enemy team, but now here on top side, too much damage coming from Hayes, and Power from pretty much half HP is now down to 2/3, so too much to handle right now, as FENNEL Adversity has tucked another turret down up against BREN.
Again, on the mid lane, though, this is going to be fine. They wanted to clear the waves and try to see if they can get a little bit of chip damage to the tower in the mid lane. And that's the thing, you know, BREN Esports, they can play conservatively this time around. This is a different BREN that we usually see, where Rebenga is on an early game champion. He's going to be on a Mundo, which is just going to scale insanely well into the late game, and this just coincides with such good picks such as Consi here on this Kai'Sa. It's going to be that big soak for the team. And for Hayes, of course, Akali. We've seen how Akali has performed throughout this series, especially on Hayes' side. Just a lot of bursts, just a lot of that, again, targeting that backline axis and escape, but Dragon now being started.
Yeah, Twin Shadows will get the information for BREN Esports though. 2K per main for the Ocean Dragon. Dr. Mundo will be set it up, but zoned away by Power. So FENNEL Adversity took the Ocean Drake with ease, and now BREN Esports has to defend.
Charm?
But Shaw with Charm though, onto Garen, forces out the flash. FENNEL just diving in, gets the turret down once again.
Really nicely done by FENNEL Adversity. Again, they're very patient. You talked about this controlled aggression, and that is exactly what we've been seeing for the past 3 games. And they have been removing, slowly but surely, the towers of BREN Esports. The territory of BREN is slowly dwindling, as there is still 3 towers standing on the side of FENNEL Adversity. And FENNEL knows that they are going to be running out of time when Conti scales, once Rebenga scales, once Hayes is able to one-shot burst combo basically anyone from the FENNEL Adversity side, minus perhaps without the wild growth. And that is the reason why FENNEL is pressured to keep moving forward, to keep making moves around the map. In 30 seconds, though, Baron is going to spawn. FENNEL Adversity looking at the items now. That double Proto Belt. So Proto Belt into the Charm, and Proto Belt into a stun for Renekton, for Power over here. So we'll see what FENNEL Adversity decides to focus on, especially when Sparrans is up. They want to get that vision down to see if they can get a pick or 2.
They have to set up the information, because lack of information is something that we have seen become a disaster for the past games and even for the past years. But 1v1 here, Hayes versus Power goes in for the stun. Now becomes a 3v1 as BREN Esports now goes in for the response. Tidal Wave will go in for the knock-up, and Power will be pinned down. Get down, FENNEL Adversity will fall, and BREN takes their first kill on the game.
Now for FENNEL, I immediately assumed the thought would be Jet.
Now the Pixie will actually transform him, and Jet will die. That is a 1-for-1 FENNEL Adversity was looking for.
Really nice collapse coming from FENNEL here. Look at this though. The dual lane, MGen.
Yeah, Spare Crush goes for the Proto Belt, tries to go for the Charm in, but MGen will be erased from the face of the earth. With a blink of an eye, he's gone, and now FENNEL Adversity has that option to go for the push or to go for an objective in this state.
Yeah, really nicely done by FENNEL. No Infernal Drake just yet, so they're going to be satisfied just taking this tower. Look at this!
Rebenga getting all the damage. He's still alive. Now BREN Esports might actually just jump in. Shuriken Flip will go in to jump into that fight. Kaisa with her instinct into the backside goes in for the flank, but he will get eviscerated, and Danny will get the kill. BREN Esports will lose 2 out of that.
The call was for BREN, use Rebenga as bait, force FENNEL Adversity to overstay their welcome. But at the end, it was FENNEL getting the best deal out of that. And the gold lead is slowly ballooning in FENNEL Adversity's favor. And they have been getting a lot of control, opening the middle map, removing the inner tower in the mid lane, giving them more space to work with when it comes to the Dragon takes, and as well as the Baron, most importantly. Now that it's especially this Infernal Drake, of course, FENNEL would want to get this on their side, especially that they are going to be relying on these early skirmishes. So far, it has been successful for this team.
And getting that Infernal Dragon, I mean, it could exponentially increase when it comes to the damage output. Considering you have a lot of tanks for BREN Esports, Rebenga, tank, Jet, tank. You have MGen to go for sustainability as well. So Infernal Dragon is going to be very valuable for FENNEL Adversity, but here on top side of the map, BREN Esports going for the 2v1. Dr. Mundo gets done down. Renekton will get deleted, and BREN will get 1-0.
Yeah, BREN Esports just trying to catch up in the map. They want to remove that top side for them to gain more vision control over the jungle of BREN, or rather FENNEL. Looks like Shaw is not going to be finding any targets, as FENNEL will try to just deward, but they get that Infernal Drake, and now they are not starting the Baron. I thought it was going to be a start for FENNEL, but they're going to hesitate a little bit. Most likely going to be more confident if they get a pick first before pursuing and committing 100% on the Baron buff.
Just a bit too risky for FENNEL to continue onto the Baron Nashor. They have just seen 4 mana for BREN, so I think that is the reason why they scour back away to just clear out the wave, gain the information from the Baron spit. But still, Baron Nashor will be the end gaming objective at this state of the game that changes things up. And FENNEL has that 5k gold lead to be able to impact BREN Esports.
Yeah, they're now FENNEL even sieging. Just gonna try to gain space, shove the wave, get priority in top and as well as mid lane to make sure that they have established vision control. What?
Flash?
Darming! Oh, Flash! That's so important in the upcoming Baron fight. And that is very unfortunate for FENNEL adversity.
Now BREN Esports has the knowledge though. The Flash will be gone away for FENNEL adversity, and this might be a huge deal because now BREN has that advantage for Rubenga to be able to impact on these certain objectives, especially onto the Baron Nashor that is currently still alive in the game. Might be potential for BREN Esports to make a comeback with this huge deficit away for FENNEL adversity.
Yeah, we talked about this before. BREN Esports they have that late game scaling advantage. And for FENNEL adversity, we've seen this lead before as well in game number 1. As it was FENNEL adversity who got the early lead. But again, the controlled aggression, wanting them to get and keep the lead and take care of it as much as they can. And see if they get a pick first before committing 100% on that Baron. They have the capability of doing so. You've got the Charm. You've got Doming as well on the Xin Zhao and Power on the Renekton. They have the damage. And the only targets that they have to worry about is going to be Hayes and Consi. So we'll see if they manage to get a pick, as Consi is just, or rather, Hayes is just lurking around. He's going to be safe for now.
But Kai'Sa was too low in that fight. Shaw was able to burst him down, and this will be a disadvantage for BREN Esports when it comes to the HP advantage. FENNEL adversity, though, doesn't want to go for an all-in fight there up against BREN as they start the Baron Nashor. And BREN needs to go for the contest as Renekton zones away the enemy team. 4k HP for the Baron Nashor. Dr. Mundo onto the side. Tries to go for the contest. Charm will connect.
The Baron's so low.
And BREN Esports, they're going in. That's going to be the ultimate from Doming. Knockback. And Jet tries to go in. That's going to be a downfall for Hayes. Now this is a 4v5. FENNEL adversity will gain that edge, but Baron will go for the reset. So once again, huge efforts coming down onto the Baron if they want to take this down once again.
They're going in.
They're going in. BREN Esports still wants to go for the contest, but remember, Shaw's just onto the sidelines. Stalemate.
This is a tug of war here for BREN and FENNEL adversity. FENNEL was stuck in the Baron pit. BREN was able to remove the mid lane as well. So this is a really good execution coming from BREN. FENNEL, though, will not reset just yet. They wanted to... Look at this coming from Shaw.
Yeah.
Is he going to flank? Going to set up a
potentially
flank?
be a look at here into the backside. Goes in for the pro belt. Charm will connect, but here we go. BREN Esports was able to bring him down immediately, and now they have the numbers advantage. Dominic will fall 3v2 currently up against this fight. Jet will be traded down, and FENNEL adversity will try to go into the retreat. Kai'Sa with a killer instinct onto the backside. Danny very low. Power very low. Kai'Sa will fall. BREN Esports 2 for 2.
BREN was very hungry for the kill. They wanted more. And now FENNEL adversity is able to at least get an exchange kill. Look at that teleport just going towards the mid lane to see if they can stop this dragon take, as that is 3 members alive on the side of BREN. Again, they needed Kai'Sa. They needed Consi on this Elder Drake, and BREN has paid for it dearly.
They're starting it up. They zoned away BREN Esports, but they want it for themselves. They're being selfish right now. 2 TPs are now coming up. BREN Esports is just around the corner. They're on the pitch. Power zoning them away. That's going to be stunned. Tidal Wave will go in, but FENNEL adversity will take the Elder Dragon. And BREN Esports will fail on the contest.
Yeah, it is a 4v5 situation. Jeff just came back from base, and BREN was not confident, as again, the numbers advantage was onto FENNEL adversity side. Now FENNEL starting this Baron. BREN Esports quite far away. That's 2 members. on towards the base. This is a free Baron for FENNEL.
Yeah, and no information for BREN Esports to even capitalize. And now FENNEL University has taken 2 major objectives away from BREN Esports.
FENNEL taking everything, just as you mentioned. Triple teleports. Now gonna get sold to exchange for more of that optimal option when they want to go for a 1-3-1. Push perhaps would be the option that FENNEL Adversity could possibly take. But so far it is the 4-1 that we're seeing. FENNEL now though.
Top side, that's going to be FENNEL Adversity taking the kill down onto MGen, and Power is still alive. BREN Esports will not be able to get the trade. That's about it, 1-0.
Yeah, because they have to defend this base, and BREN Esports overcommitted to Power, and now they unfortunately have to suffer the consequences. FENNEL now is able to open up mid lane, and the second siege is coming through.
Yeah, and FENNEL Adversity now pushing on top lane. They've opened up the mid lane. BREN Esports just roaming around. That's going to be a charm in. Dr. Mundo, he will get eviscerated. Now FENNEL Adversity has taken 1 more kill. And another inhibitor turret away from BREN Esports. 11k gold lead coming in for FENNEL Adversity.